In a world obsessed with gritty realism, where every drama is a dark, brooding masterpiece, comes a show so refreshingly, unapologetically, back-one-o insane, it makes Tiger King look like a PBS documentary. We're talking about a series so ludicrous, so preposterous, so utterly bonkers, it redefines the very fabric of television storytelling. Prepare yourselves, because this ain't your grandma's procedural. This is dramatic pause, building suspense, pending train. From the twisted minds that brought you, well, probably nothing else quite like this, comes a tale of time travel, parallel universes, and, wait for it, a train. Yes, you heard that right. A train. Because apparently, spaceships are too mainstream. Who needs warp drive when you've got railroad tracks? Our story begins with a motley crew of everyday citizens, minding their own business, probably scrolling through their phones, blissfully unaware that their lives are about to be derailed, literally. They're all passengers on a seemingly ordinary train, chugging along, destination unknown, much like the writer's room when they conceived this masterpiece. Suddenly, BAM. They're not in Kansas anymore. Or, on the regular train line. They've been hurled into the future. Dun dun dun. But not just any future. Oh no, that would be far too simple. This is a future where, drumroll please, everything is exactly the same, except for one tiny, insignificant detail: it's completely deserted. Think The Walking Dead, but without the zombies, and with significantly more awkward small talk. Our bewildered passengers emerge from their time-traveling locomotive to find a world devoid of, well, pretty much everything except the train they just arrived on. Because apparently, in the future, even the tumbleweeds have taken a vacation. Now you might be thinking, okay, so they're in the future. Big deal. Plenty of movies and TV shows have done that. And you'd be right. But Pending Train doesn't just send them to the future. Oh no, it throws in a twist so convoluted, so baffling, so downright perplexing, it makes quantum physics look like a children's nursery rhyme. It turns out, this isn't their future. It's a parallel future. A future that's almost identical to their own, but with one crucial difference: everyone's gone. Because reasons. So, our band of accidental time travelers is stranded in a ghost town version of their own world, with no explanation, no resources, and no Wi-Fi. Because what's a post-apocalyptic wasteland without the crushing weight of social media withdrawal? They're basically the ultimate tourists, lost and confused, except instead of complaining about the hotel buffet, they're trying to figure out why all their friends and family have vanished into thin air. Leading this expedition into the unknown is our protagonist, a guy who's about as charismatic as a wet sock. He's your average, everyday salaryman, the kind of guy who blends into the background so well, he could probably rob a bank and nobody would notice. But now, thrust into a leadership role he never asked for, he's forced to, well, mostly just look confused and occasionally offer mildly helpful suggestions. He's basically the human equivalent of a shrug emoji. And then there's the rest of the ensemble cast, a collection of quirky characters straight out of a sitcom reject pile. We've got the sassy old lady who dispenses wisdom like fortune cookies, the nerdy guy who's obsessed with conspiracy theories, which, ironically, might actually be relevant for once, and the obligatory love interest, who's only there to provide some much-needed eye candy and the occasional dramatic outburst. Because what's a time-traveling adventure without a little bit of romantic tension? As our intrepid heroes try to unravel the mystery of their deserted future, they encounter all sorts of, well, not much actually. Mostly they just wander around, looking at things, and having deep, philosophical conversations about the meaning of life, the universe, and why their phones still have full battery in a world without cell towers. It's like a philosophical retreat, except instead of serene landscapes, they're surrounded by abandoned buildings and the lingering scent of existential dread. The show tries to build suspense by hinting at some sort of something that caused everyone to disappear. Was it a virus? A government conspiracy? A rogue Roomba uprising? The possibilities are endless. Or, they're probably not. But the show keeps teasing us with these vague clues, hoping we'll be so intrigued that we'll actually care about the answer. And let's not forget the train itself, the star of the show. It's not just a means of transportation, it's practically a character in its own right. It's the only thing that seems to be working in this desolate future, which raises some serious questions about the quality of Japanese engineering. I mean, the entire human race vanishes, but the train keeps chugging along? Priorities, people. The train becomes a symbol of hope, a beacon of light in the darkness, a train. It's where our characters eat, sleep, and have their most profound conversations, which mostly revolve around how much they miss their old lives and how much they wish they had brought snacks. As the series progresses, the mystery deepens, or at least it gets more complicated. The writers throw in more twists and turns than a roller coaster designed by a caffeinated squirrel. They introduce new characters who promptly disappear, they reveal shocking secrets that are quickly forgotten, and they create plot holes so big you could drive a time-traveling train through them. But despite its many flaws, Pending Train has a certain charm. It's so bad, it's almost good. It's the kind of show you watch with your friends, making fun of every ridiculous plot point and every over-the-top performance. It's the kind of show that makes you question the very nature of storytelling and wonder if the writers were just making it up as they went along. Which, let's be honest, they probably were. And yet, despite its absurdity, Pending Train manages to be oddly compelling. It's like a train wreck you can't look away from. You know it's going to be a disaster, but you can't help but watch, just to see how much worse it can get. So, if you're looking for a show that's smart, sophisticated, and thought-provoking, this probably isn't it. But if you're looking for a show that's so ridiculous, so over the top, and so utterly bonkers, it'll leave you questioning your sanity, then Pending Train is the show for you. Just don't blame us if you develop a sudden craving for train travel. You've been warned. Now, all aboard. For the most unintentionally hilarious journey through time and space you'll ever experience. Choo-choo.